Welcome to ESC TV. My name is David Wood and I have the pleasure to interview Professor Stefan Gielen, President of the European Association for Cardiovascular Prevention and Rehabilitation. Welcome, Stefan.
To be here.
You had a congress earlier this year, EuroPrevent Rome. The theme was Universal Approach to Cardiovascular Prevention. What was the meaning behind that?
Well, universal approach to cardiovascular prevention means several things. First of all, it means that you need a multidisciplinary team of cardiologists, allied health specialists, nutrition experts and physiotherapists to really get the message how important prevention is across to the patients at large. And the second implication of this title was that we wanted to reach out to other countries, also beyond Europe, and to join hands in our efforts to fight the rise in non-communicable diseases, specifically cardiovascular diseases that we are seeing in many parts of the world, also the low and middle income countries. And this also resonates an issue that you are very well aware of because you're also involved in global health, namely the UN high-level meeting in 2011, when it was for the first time in history of the United Nations decided to make the fight against NCDs a top priority at the UN level.
Yes, and actually the WHO now has an action plan to reduce premature mortality from non-communicable diseases, and that really is cardiovascular disease. And in what way do you think the European Association can contribute to that international agenda?
Well, I think the UN high-level meeting decided the political goals and targets, and WHO was of great help to really to better define the specific health targets that need to be achieved in order to reduce the burden of cardiovascular disease. But in order for the rubber to hit the road, you need the professional societies to really implement the prevention efforts into clinical practice.
Yeah.
And so we offered our platform that we have at the Congress for other societies to come together and to speak about our mutual experience in the field, what we have to offer, namely guidelines, namely educational toolkits, study approaches also in epidemiological studies to follow the changes in risk factor prevalence over time with our approaches to reduce risk behavior.
So the ESC is showing real leadership in this respect.
I think we are just taking our responsibility seriously. The ESC has adopted this goal of reducing the cardiovascular mortality by 25% until the year 2025. And we are really trying very hard to fulfill our mission statement, which is reducing the burden of cardiovascular disease in Europe.
Now you have some good news from the journal this year. We have the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology. What's the good news?
Well, the good news is that we should actually share a glass of champagne on this occasion. But it's really nice and it's very gratifying to see that the journal jumped in its impact factor from 2.6 to 3.9, which is a huge leap forward. And there are several factors to this very positive result within a short time period. Namely that we changed the title from a very clumsy and long title to European Journal of Preventive Cardiology. And this title also highlights that we want to have more contributions in the areas of public health, pharmaceutical prevention, and epidemiological research. And the quality of paper submissions increased. We have a lot of reviews and position papers, and this makes our journal more attractive. And I hope that you think about papers that you could also submit to our journal.
Okay, and linked to the journal, you have Preventive Cardiology Space. And what's that being filled with?
The problem is that people love to interact, to talk to others just like we do today. Unfortunately, we can just do this 2 or 3 times a year at our conventions and congresses. And to fill the space in between the congresses and to allow for active discussions on specific topics, specific papers, controversial issues, we opened this web space to allow blogging and ongoing discussion on a day-to-day basis, and there will also be a presidential blog where you can send your ideas and your comments on what EACPR is doing and how we can do even better directly to me.
Very good. We look forward to reading this space in the months to come. Thank you very much. Thank you, Stefan.
ESC Congress 365 is your free access to ESC Congress content all year long.